If you watch the Raptors closely, Sandro Mamukelashvili keeps showing up and doing things that are quietly game-changing. He doesn't grab headlines, but every time he checks in the numbers and the eye test tell the same story. This guy is one of the most underrated role players in the league. He's giving the Raptors about 11 points a night off the bench on efficient shooting splits, 53% from the field and 38% from deep, and those numbers are far from the whole story. Bench impact and efficient scoring. Per 100 possessions, the Raptors actually outscore opponents when he's on the floor. Santini 1 net rating, 2 offensive rating, 3 and sit 6th in the league. Offensive rating matters. Take him off the court and the offense noticeably slips into the bottom half. But I want to show you why that happens by walking through what he did in the last couple games. Let's start with a clip from yesterday. He catches the ball out on the perimeter with no obvious advantage and turns it into something immediately. Listed at 6'9", he plays with the handle and comfort of a much smaller guard. On this possession, the defense gets physical, crowding his space and trying to deny him a clean path. He doesn't panic, he absorbs pressure, uses a tight spin move, and keeps moving through contact like he's not even bothered. Tight spin and stoic finishing. He finishes with a defensive rebound and takes it coast to coast, a paint touch ball with confidence, and then floats a soft finish over the rim protector, when that floater is something he's leaned on as a reliable scoring option when he decides to attack the rim. The floater is real. What makes that floater so dangerous is his belief in it. You can see it when defenders are all over him, and he elects to go up and lay it off the glass from a spot where most guys wouldn't even try. Derek White is draped all over him on another possession, and Sandro just goes up, far enough from the hoop that you think it won't drop, and it kisses the glass. Those are high difficulty shots, yet he has the confidence and touch to make them look routine. Statistically, last season he made 6 floaters on 14 attempts. This year he has already made 13 on 26 attempts, shooting 50%. Which puts him way up in the percentiles. Scoring touch and high accuracy. His shot chart tells the same story. A lot of threes and attempts at the rim with those mid-range paint floaters sprinkled in. Because of his size and strength, he can absorb contact and finish true in the restricted area. And he's been efficient there as well, shooting a high percentage at the rim. Shot chart clarity. But what separates him is not just finishing, it's the speed and decisiveness with which he attacks. He blows by closeouts, consistently catches in space, and the defense is often a half step behind because of how quickly he reads and reacts. Attack, speed, and reads. Another part of his game that's incredibly useful is how ambidextrous he looks around the basket. He shoots left-handed, but when it comes to finishing or driving, you can't really tell what his weak hand is. Both hands, both sides. He'll attack a closeout going right or left, finish on either side, and oftentimes do so without hesitating. That comfort with both hands, with both finishing and ball handling, increases his options on every touch. Constant options and tactical fit. It's not only what he does with the ball that matters, but how he moves without it. On a per possession basis, his movement off the ball ranks very high. He's excellent at finding cutting lanes, using screens, and being in the right spot to accept dump-offs. Off-ball movement is elite. When defenders overcommit to a more prominent teammate, Scotty Barnes or RJ Barrett for example, Sandro is ready to take advantage. He doesn't sit and wait, he recognizes the lane and takes it the instant it's there. Cuts and quick thought. Watch how he creates in a simple 5-out set. He stands in a spot and draws attention, and then the ball swings and suddenly he's open. That quick movement results in immediate shots. Often open threes, because the defense has to respect his drive. Quick movement and spot up threat. He can also play in a 2-man game with a guard, and it becomes a burden for the defense to track him. One guard sticks on the ball, the other fakes a 3, and with one decisive dribble, he draws the help and drops a bounce pass to Scotty for an easy dunk. Small actions, big impact. Those small actions, while slipping, popping, hard rolling, or cracking to the seam, are what make him such a reliable piece. He can space the floor by holding his spot, or become a primary attacker off the catch. When the lane collapses, he's more than willing to distribute. His passing is a real asset, and the advanced grading supports that. On Basketball Index, he's graded B+ for playmaking, which sits in the 75th percentile, while his passing efficiency is elevated up near the 92nd percentile. Playmaking B+ and passing 92nd. Quick decision making is also a B+ at the 75th percentile. Translation: when he sees a better option, he makes it quickly and usually correctly. He's averaging 2 assists per game and commits less than a turnover per contest. He's not forcing things. Defensively and on the glass, he brings energy that matters. He plays with a motor off the bench that shows up in hustle stats like offensive rebounds, 6 per game. His ability to get second chance opportunities is a tangible plus for the bench unit. So on the defensive glass, he's also effective, which explains why he's posting a career high in rebounds per game. To transition and clean closeouts. One of the underrated elements of Sandro's presence is how his three-point shooting stretches the defense. He's a legitimate spot-up threat from deep, and because he's 6'9", defenders who are used to guarding traditional bigs are suddenly uncomfortable chasing him out to the perimeter. Three-point spacing opens lanes. That ability to step out and threaten from deep lets the Raptors play more 5-out lineups and opens driving lanes for teammates. It's a simple concept, but a huge advantage. Spacing that comes from someone who can also attack off the catch is a coach's dream, and when you pair him with Scottie Barnes, interesting things happen. When Sandro comes in, the offense often picks up energy and shot quality. He brings real versatility. He can spot up and stretch the defense, he can create downhill, he can operate as a roll and dump option in pick and rolls, and he can pass out of pressure. He's also physically strong enough to absorb contact and finish through it. Multifunctional role. All of those traits together make him the kind of multifunctional role player coaches love. One who can plug into different lineups and provide a high floor, right? But maybe the most important thing is this. You can see that the Raptors offense functions at a different level when Sandro is available. Different level impact. He's not just filling a role on the stat sheet, he's opening things up for others, taking pressure off primary creators, and giving the bench a real identity. That's why the team is measurably better with him on the floor. Efficient, tough, versatile. So yeah, he's quietly one of the most underrated guys in the league right now. He impacts games in ways that don't always show up in highlight reels. But when you break the film down, you see his fingerprints all over the things that make the Raptors tick. Spacing, off-ball movement, finishing, passing, and the ability to close out a possession cleanly on the glass. Quietly impactful. If you like this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Who else do you think deserves more credit for quietly changing the game for their team?